I'm writing the script of this video off the back of a shit school week, a tower defense scam, a game that I've been waiting on get delayed for a second time. Yeah, that's right, a second time, and someone straight ripping me off. Nigga, I am sick. So, disappointment. You may be used to the word being used to refer to that feeling you get when something that happens really just makes you feel like dying for a good 5 seconds, or as a noun that people use to refer to you. But that's besides the point. What I'm trying to get at is, it's not really something that's associated with anything positive, but what can we say? We're just disappointed sometimes. But you see, sometimes you just get disappointed to the point where it doesn't actually feel like shit can faze you anymore. So it's really impressive when something can actually faze you to the point where you actually start to contemplate life. Something that could easily serve as an example of things that are just disappointing is when you have a series that you may like, whether it be like a show or a manga or something where you follow through until it's close to its end, loving every second of the experience. And when it's finally time for you to have your final experience with the story, it finally drops and you begin to read or watch, and you go on, and you go on. Then you think to yourself, nigga, what the fuck? Questions left unanswered. Those two characters you expected to get together never got together. That character that had potential never ended up doing shit. And it's just like, are you serious? All that time reading, waiting for that sweet sense of fulfillment, and it just never came up until the end. That's disappointment. It can happen with ongoing series too, where you hope it'll get good, but then the writing just shoots itself in the foot over and over again. You're watching a protagonist that can get whatever he wants, and he just refuses as the story finds ways to justify that bitchless, holeless son of a bitch. Recently, games have been pretty good, at least in my eyes. Persona 3 Reload released, a new Yakuza game released that looks super fun, that I can't buy because then my mom will jump my ass. And also a new Monster Hunter-like anime game which has queue times that are pretty disappointing in and of themselves. Bro, the game is worldwide and it just released. What the fuck? I'm doing quick play.
Womp womp.
So, I was excited when I found out that the same weekend I was enjoying those, two Roblox games will be dropping that were both extremely hype. Tales of Tenorio and Anime Clash. That's what it's called, right? I wiped that shit from my mind already. Tales of Tenorio is essentially your high-quality 3D creature catching game but on Roblox. Has good designs and looks super fun. It's been delayed for 2 weeks straight now because a nigga that was doing too much buckled under the weight of carrying the game's whole team and broke his ankles in an intersection, so he had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, so I don't know what, this was like 2 hours ago. They surprised and announced that they were gonna release the game tomorrow. Alright. Okay, man. Okay.
Anime Clash, on the other hand, I knew nothing about. Just saw some footage and thought it would be fun. The game also had 100,000 people in a fucking waiting room for a secret unit. A pink Yamamoto. That's right. I was 100,000 people. Waste of a fucking weekend, holy shit. You see, the reason games like Anime Clash were able to get off the ground is because one of the quintessential anime tower defense games, Anime Adventures, croaked after getting nuked by GameFan for fucking My Hero Academia content. Their own game died on release. So, with people looking for a new void to be filled, we had games like ASTD, AWTD, which is the only one out of these games I actually think is good, and ALS. I had to talk about this one another time, but my simple opinion on it, Anime Clash was supposed to be a different type of tower defense game where you place units down and have them fight enemies that showed up scattered across the stage that continuously run towards your base, with the only thing standing between them and your impending demise is your units. It seemed like an interesting concept in theory, but when you actually play it, you struggle to find reasons to enjoy yourself. Those gems that you spent days AFKing disappear within seconds as you pull multis, which have a price that apparently got raised drastically in return for dog shit. When you actually play the game, you realize how terrible of an idea it was for a spin. Because at least in traditional tower defense games, you can put the game down for convenience and let it run until you win. In this game, you can't put the game down until it's over because the enemies get spread out, and even one getting past means you lose.
A situation where like no one can catch up to this dude. Oh my god, that's so annoying. Can they like speed up or something? Get this guy, bro. This doesn't happen in All-Star Tower Defense because you can't go past him. Did I just lose off that?
the fuck? It was bad to the point where I, and probably the rest of the player base, quit within a few hours, and then they shut down the game the same weekend because everybody was going on about how shit their game was. But it was just a stress test. But it wouldn't be the first stress test I witnessed that killed the game. I gotta speak to you guys face to face for this. This shit just happened, so God knows I'm gonna have some niggas giving me shit for it. So my friend randomly asked me, "Yo nigga, can I send someone over you?" He's a small YouTuber and he needs your help making a thumbnail. So I'm like, oh, he wants help making one? I'm cool with that. Also, do you want to get paid for it? Paid? I can get paid? Am I making the thumbnail? So I immediately tell him to send the dude over, and the dude says that he wants me to make a thumbnail for a video on a Roblox game and gives me the lowest quality piece of shit I have seen. Tells me to do what I want. So because I'm thinking with my stereotypical YouTuber brain, I make a thumbnail that I think will pop out when you're scrolling. Mind you, he said to send it ASAP because the video is uploading as we spoke. And when I slap a watermark on the first draft so he can't GIMP it, I send it over. He doesn't say anything he wants changed and doesn't respond for a while, so I get concerned and start changing stuff around. I mean, I asked my friend and the dude called me Joe, so I'm like, oh, I'm feeling good. I keep going. I send him a second draft and I ask what he thinks. He says, oh yeah, that's cool. I'm just waiting for another guy to send me his. Wait, what? Apparently, dude sent it to a community, God knows which one it was, and they said they didn't like it. Once again, I remind you that I rushed the base plate out. No! I put a watermark over the thumbnail and he told me to do as I wanted. Something that he reminded me up until when I closed the DM. So somebody suggested they would do it, and what they got back to him was this. Nigga, you can't even see the name of the game! Mind you, once again, the nigga took an hour to send that. He just put camera raw filter, applied blur and shear. It looks like a thumbnail I would have made when I was 13. So anyway, gave up on that shit. When I went to check how the thumbnail looked on YouTube, the guy took it down so the guy could send him the video in higher quality. Nigga, you took it down, why? Lesson? This type of video is supposed to have a lesson? You know what? Fine then. I got a lesson for you. Know what the fuck you want. Make sure you don't set too high expectations of anything so that your hopes don't end up crashing down into the ground and you don't spend the 24 hours in a waiting room.
Heard you been talking down and thinking sweet like Honeybuns, but you won't be the type to come and link without a gun. Heard you been walking around and thinking that I'm scared of something. When you want to jump and you won't see me one-on-one. Your renting gets spent on bathing ATs. She couldn't get on side the bus cause she was 18. Oyster perpetual, get sexual and stay clean.